What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is April 23rd, 2024. Boys and gals, April's almost done. And just like that, we're almost 4 months into the year of 2024. Look how time flies. Bitcoin currently sitting at $66,415. The ETH ETF has been delayed again, not only for Grayscale, but also Franklin Templeton as well, if I do believe, if I say that name correctly. What's going on? How long do they have? Is it likely that they are going to end up getting it approved? And again, we're going to take a look at the Pulse Chain big picture as well. So, boys and gals, I hope all of y'all are having a fantastic day. We got the pups chilling with us today in the room, in the office, just having a blast. You can see, as always, he's just absolutely chilling. Oh, he talking about you, sweetie. All right, checking out Bitcoin. So the curious question that I am actually genuinely curious about is: are we going to end up breaking above the all-time high before the end of the month? Folks, it is likely that that might not happen, and obviously we know that to be the case, but how crazy would it be if Bitcoin got 8 consecutive months in a row of green? That would absolutely blow my mind for sure, for sure. Pulling this up on the monthly over here, you can in fact see that we are sitting on 7 monthly green candles in a row, which had never happened in the past. Could we make it 8? Now again, this is 8 consecutive monthly green candles. Someone had commented in the past that Bitcoin had done 8 months in a row, and I tell you, show me on the chart where it did that, my friend. Show me on the chart. Whenever I look at this, you can go back and count all the times of Bitcoin coming out. Now, again, this is going to be one of the all-time history over here. Let me see if we can pull one up that goes back to 2010. What's crazy is even going all the way back here, Bitcoin had never actually had 8 consecutive months in a row. So you can in fact see what's going on during this time. Now it's a little bit harder to see during some price action, during some chart time, because there's a lot going on around this time. But this is actually negative 45% at that point in time, just to give everyone a heads up. But you still got 1, 2, even if you count this as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could be a possibility. Going back here, you got 5 in a row. Going back here, you're going to have another 6 in a row at this point in time. Going back here even further and getting more into the present day, you can again see it has had many months in a row of 4 months. Heck, even this one hits 5 months. But again, it had never ended up doing 6, if not, I'm sorry, it had never ended up doing 7 before, y'all. It had never done this before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Once again, even in the bull market of last cycle, going into the time from October of 2020 into the bull market of 2021. It only ended up getting 6 consecutive green monthly candles before it met its red candle. This time, it does have 7 monthly green candles in a row at this point in time, which again had never happened before. And in order to make it 8, Bitcoin has to close above $71,000. Can Bitcoin close above 71,000 is really the question at this point in time. Let's draw this line on up real quick. 71,289, I believe, is the exact, but neither here nor there. We're just taking a quick little gander over here to take a little peeky weeky and see if we can find it. It is pretty crazy to see this actually happening as well. Ethereum currently sitting at $3,219 at this point in time, only down by, yeah, yep, only down by 8 basis points over here. Again, with a nice little curve to the upside on the Impulse MACD. Now, again, this is on the monthly. On the daily, it's already broken below that. But again, it is wanting to see if it can actually flip out of this. Usually when it goes sideways like this, it just means that we are going through a period of consolidation, which is exactly what you actually see over on the chart right here. Just a period of consolidation, some sideways action, neither up a lot nor down a lot, just kind of going sideways. Tends to end up breaking out one way or the other. So I would love to see this blue line cross above the orange line and turn freaking bullish. But hey, that's neither here nor there because the fear and greed index is currently sitting at 71, which very healthy for crypto. This is where I would say it spends most of the time, especially during a bull market. In fact, you can actually see on the charts when you are looking all the way back here from November or October of 2020, we start getting into the extreme greed situation for a period, and then it goes back down into the regular greed as well. It tends to do that pretty fast. We want to maintain that we are in the greed portion of the actual fear and greed index. So again, this is one of those that I am in fact watching at this point in time. You can't see how long it tends to stay in these ratios for. On the ecosystem of PulseChain, we have the current price of Pulse sitting at 40746. Current price of PulseX 40307. The incentive token $3.75, and the hex price currently on PulseChain at 20886, while the current price of hex over on Ethereum is sitting at 2017. Something that I would like to see a little bit more of is a new floor to be made. Now, again, this hasn't really happened quite yet. We did break through a previous level of support on the Pulse chain side on the price over here for Hex. So I would love to see a new floor get created. And by floor, I do mean roughly about a anywhere between up here, right above a penny, would be the psychological threshold, which would be beautiful, along with actually holding above these prices for a period of time. This would, in fact, allow the weak hands that could be trying to get sold out that everyone's talking about the ability to actually get washed out. Because while prices maintain in these ranges over here, it doesn't really give too much crazy confidence in terms of even if you had been a weak-handed individual and sold right here, for example, you can still buy back in more down here. And I believe, unfortunately, that's a lot of what's happening. These people who are, in fact, washing out or selling at these prices are then having an opportunity to buy in lower. So, what we really need to see is a new floor get created and actually bounce up on this one at that point in time. That would be an absolutely glorious thing. Now, again, this is on the 1 hour. Granted, whenever you pull this up on a daily over here, just to kind of give a more of a better time scale of what we're talking about. Let me just kind of zoom on in here. We are playing in the moving average channel of the 20 MA channel. So we are still bouncing in here. Again, to see the lower side of things, I would see a lower side of 208561. Ideally, you would love to see a level of support bounce off that and continue on. And that would just be where I would see if we were looking for support, would be right here in this range right here for the price of Hex on Pulse Chain. If it does, in fact, want to go a little bit lower, levels to be paying attention to 2078. Uh, that was weird. 2078 going all the way down over into the lower region over here, which is 2074. These are the levels that I would be paying attention to if you're looking for a possible good entry price. Now, something to do to anyone who knows, because if you buy right here and it does go down into these ranges, that's again a 17-18% dip. For those individuals who don't mind seeing long term, it's a good thing to be able to buy at any point in time at these prices because in the future you'll never see these prices again. However, in the shorter term mindset individuals, if you buy here, expect that there could in fact be a dip still at that point in time. And do not be sad if you buy and you do not get the buy down here. This happens far, far too often. Or you actually end up getting the act of the indecisiveness as well, where you say, I could buy here, but it might go lower. So I'm going to wait. I could go here, but it might go lower, and say the price comes right into this zone. Yeah, I'm gonna wait just in case it goes lower, and then it comes down here, and I'm just gonna wait until it comes down lower. Just in case, you never really know, and then the price just skyrockets up. And then at that point in time, you haven't taken advantage of any of the prices that have happened at that point in time. So pay attention to a level of a DCA method, whether it's one entry here, second entry here, and then third entry down below a little bit further. And if you can get those entries on the way down, just like taking profits on the way up, it's a beautiful way to get it done in a shorter term side of things. So keep that in mind. Now, again, looking at Dallas Hex over on PulseChain, it looks like Hex over on Ethereum has essentially found its floor so far at this point in time. You can never really be until it's actually done at that point. But to be fair, we have been trading essentially in this range for now going on 41 days. And it looks like the market has essentially stopped its massive sells where you see these big sell events here where you get a 42% downtrend on this one, 11% downtrend on this one, and a 59% downtrend on this candle. We're now seeing these candles lower and lower where you're still getting a 13% here, and then this one's still 6%. So nothing too crazy. It's not like the 40s and the 50s. But hey, again, to everyone who knows, I have a limit order down here. I've always wanted to say I want to get $1,000 to get a million hex. So if prices ever ends up coming down to be that low, I get to go ahead and take advantage of that. I do all my limit orders through swap.cal.fi over on the Ethereum side. And right now, Ethereum fees are super cheap, boys and gals. Boys and gals. So that's the hex prices over there. Now, again, if y'all aren't familiar with this, you can in fact buy yourself wrapped Bitcoin over on PulseChain. You can actually buy multiple of the Ethereum tokens over on PulseChain if you're wanting to take advantage of it, have a DCA strategy. This is a method that allows you to do so. This will actually be the exact same version that you can then bridge over into the Ethereum network should you actually want to say cash out or swap it for any other tokens. You can go buy them over on pulsex.com, and there's plenty of liquidity to take advantage of that as well. So, FY, we have the price of Pulse again sitting at 40748 at this point in time. You can see at this point where the market is looking to go. We are essentially forming right here, kind of one of those. We're going to see which way this actually wants to go at this point. If I was to actually draw a little parabolic, whoops, I don't think that's the right shape. Where are the shapes at? Where are my shapes? Um, is it right here? Am I tripping? Art. My goodness, curve. That took a little bit longer than I expected. And see if we can get that to be done. So I see at this point in time, we're almost kind of forming a cup and handle over here, but on the downward side of things, which means a little bit more bearish, a little bit more bearish over here, folks. Again, not to just be the bearer of bad news or the bearish of bad news. I'm not trying to bring this to anyone's attention. I've said this in the past where prices can end up going, but I do in fact believe that instead of washing people out of the weak hands at this point in time, we really need to start making some new highs. And then if people want to buy back in higher, it has the ability for them to come in and buy back in higher. This is kind of what we're hoping for at this point, right? So even if you happen to sell over here or you sold here, again, if we are playing in a lower price than what you sold, you can essentially go buy back in right there, which some people will sell out of fear, out of impulse, out of whatever decision or emotion that they have to sell. And then because they weren't really punished, they actually get a better deal waiting. So this is what I would love to see. Another little price over here where we just get a nice little pump, breaks us out into the higher high echelon. And we have seen these moves before in the span of 11 days, where we see a nice little 3x in 13 days, for example, which would put us back into the regions and ranges. So we are coming up essentially on the 50 weeks to shake out the weak hands. It is UTC time already right now. So it is now the 24th, which is the mark of the 50 week to shake out the week hand period. Just a FYI to those of y'all curious. Again, PulseChain launched on May 12th of 2023, so 50 weeks from that day. Put this at April 24th of 2024, which is exactly where we're at right now. Keeping this over on Pulse X as well. We pulled this up yesterday, and fun fact, Pulse X is sitting almost at $1 trillion burn, boys and gals. That is a massive amount of the supply bought and burned on the open market, never to be sold again. So love seeing that. And again, Pulse X is a deflationary token. I do own all of these assets. This is not financial advice. You do what you want at the end of the day with whatever you want to buy and whatever you want to do with your money, whether it's holding, selling, trading, or just sitting on the sidelines and just enjoying the show. All of that is completely up to you for any of this, keeping that in mind. Let me go to the comments real quick, and then we're going to go into the SEC news or announcement talking about, them trying to get some more people, as they always do. And this is now denying another Ethereum ETF at this point in time. It is pretty crazy to see that they delay and they delay and they delay. And unfortunately, at this point in time, it's just one of those things that as they continue to delay, it's going to get approved. It's just a matter of when, not if. We got Academation in the house. Evening all. Jason Smith, what's up? Mo digging it. What's good? Early gang Jamal, yes sir. RH gonna push the enter key and we're off. Yeah, so I'm not believing in the RH narrative. Teach their own. I think another, for example, whale needs to step in. There's way too many wallet watchers in our ecosystem at this point in time. And as soon as anything happens with the OA wallet, for example, it's all of the, oh my gosh, the OA is doing something. And that's more of a sell the news event, unfortunately, at this point in time, unless it just absolutely pumps and then continues to pump and then continues to pump and then continues to pump. And again, we're breaking all-time highs at that point in time. Once we actually start making a new floor, all the people who sell thinking that we're going to end up going back down, because unfortunately, if you look at every other previous instance when it's happened, it's been a sell the news event. So hopefully that doesn't end up being the case, but I would love to see new whales come into the ecosystem and start participating. Jazztown, what's good? ATX, what's up? How you doing, my friend? Ten Top in the house, yes sir. Crypto Bindu, Colin and Rich, yeah, right. When do you think we're mooning this cycle? Early 2025? Based upon previous histories and charts and looking at previous markets and layer ones, I do anticipate toward the end of the year to start seeing some real movement. By a real movement, I mean outside of a 3x gain. I can see a 3x gain still happening relatively quick within the span of sometimes even 11 days. So the 3-day pump, I don't really consider a pump at this point. It is doing a massive increase in your portfolio for some people, or it's always good to see that little pump happen as well. But the really the moon phase, I would say, the mooning phase, which is where you start seeing the 10x's, the 20s, the 30s, the 50s, the hundreds, and so on and so forth. That's probably toward the end of the year, boys and gals, if we continue to do what has happened in the past. And again, this is looking at previous instances such as Phantom, Avalanche, Gala, Solana, and all the other tokens that were there, launched prior to or after the Bitcoin halving, and what actually ended up taking place during that time. So that's whenever I'm seeing some movement happen. And again, if we see Bitcoin, I loved seeing Bitcoin as it is right now. I would love to see a 30% retracement in Bitcoin. That would just be even more bullish for me in my personal, uh, I guess, perspective at that point in time. Would just be seeing it from a standpoint of the market's not just going straight into euphoria, because if we go straight into euphoria, well, it's very likely that the dip comes soon after. And if it doesn't last too long, is that really going to be the end? And then everyone's going to be questioning, and then you have the uncertainty kick in again, and with uncertainty brings about bearish behaviors. Academatiated saying hello to everybody. Marcus, what's up, all? Prospector, what's up? What's up? Yo, yo, ATX and Hex fam. Absolutely. So much love to every single one of y'all as well. Guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're enjoying the content, it just means a lot. After the video is done and the stream is finished, hop on YouTube, leave a comment, let me know that you were watching, let me know that you enjoyed it. Heck, even if there's something that you're looking for next time, give me a heads up. So we have the SEC delaying the decision on another spot Ethereum ETF, and this actually happened to two of these spot ETFs today. I'm sure there was more. So far, we just have these two being announced at this point in time. So one of the ETFs is actually Franklin Templeton, where they actually filed its Ethereum spot ETF in February, joining other players such as BlackRock and Grayscale. In the most recent filing, the SEC that it said that it finds it appropriate to delay its decision so that way it will have enough time to consider the application. Despite the fact that the SEC greenlit a slew of spot Bitcoin ETF applications in January, the odds of the regulators approving Ethereum ETFs remain infinitesimally low. Infinitesimally. How do you infant? I don't even know, guys. That's a weird word for me to even pronounce. I don't know why. Infin. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try anymore. Maybe y'all can let me know the correct pronunciation of that. The SEC is facing political pressure not to approve ETFs for alternative cryptocurrencies. Moreover, the regulator reportedly wants to classify the largest altcoin as a security, which could complicate the approval process. British multinational bank Standard Chartered, which previously predicted that Ethereum price could reach $4,000 following the approval of the ETF, now claims that such investment products are unlikely to be greenlit this May, and I do not believe them to be greenlit either. The largest altcoin is currently trading at $3,200 according to the data, and it's up 1% over the last 24 hours. You can see they also delayed the Grayscale spot ETF as well. Grayscale's application to convert its trust into a spot Ethereum ETF has been delayed by the SEC once again. The SEC deferred its decision on a proposed rule to allow the U.S. national exchanges to list pitched by Grayscale until June of 23. So that's at least when we're going to be hearing something. I believe they get 3 times to delay, if I'm not mistaken, before they have to come up with something. And last time, essentially, what happened is the court was like, "What is your reasoning for delaying? What is your reasoning for denying? You don't have one? Well, then do something." And then, boom, the ETF got approved. But it had to get the court involved, and that was kind of stupid. But now that they've already approved it, I mean, it's pretty tough to get them to deny this one. However, the SEC is trying to come after Ethereum and declare it as a security as well. Documents on Wall Street showed similar application filed by Franklin Templeton, delayed until June 11th, which I believe we just saw delayed until June 23rd, but neither here nor there. It's at least until June. Other filings from BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck seeking spot ETFs were also delayed. Of course. Can you believe that? The SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, who has repeatedly insisted that most crypto assets are securities, and yet he can't even get any big wins on these cases. He's just basically throwing cold spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. In fact, crypto lobbyists are now filing a lawsuit against the SEC on dealer definition. And this is just lobbyists in crypto as well. Two large groups, two groups contend that the SEC is instituting a new rule adopted in February that would negatively impact the crypto industry. The SEC's rule extends federal securities laws to market participants with significant liquidity providing roles encompassing cryptocurrency transactions. This complaint was filed in a Texas district court on Monday, and it cites the violations of the APA, which is the Administrative Procedures Act, which again govern the actual rulemaking of the federal government. Before more harm can be done by this rabid regulator, we are seeking declaratory judgment and injunctive relief against the SEC to overturn their rule expansion and prohibit its use against our industry. So I'd love to see what ends up happening. This is actually one of the debates that's actually going through pretty if I'm not mistaken, over on Reddit, as a matter of fact. So, as of yesterday, if y'all didn't hear, this was another news story where two of the lawyers who were involved with the, I guess, mishandling of information and causing inaccurate information and false statements and misrepresentations quit or were chosen to either be fired or resigned. So basically, SEC lawyers Michael Welsh and Joseph Watkin resigned after being informed that they would be fired over their handling of the case, which involves accusations of $49 million fraud by the digital licensing. Again, we read all about this yesterday in yesterday's stream. These are just some of the Reddit threads in the PulseChain ecosystem of some people's opinions on this post as well. So that way we can hopefully get a more we want a more definitive answer in this space. We don't want it to just be up for contention anymore or up for debate or anything like that. So Stravok182 username, Reddit username says, I would rather see RH win in his court case, proving at the legal level that Hex, Pulse, and PulseX aren't securities and not a scam, etc. That would drive up trust in the ecosystem so much more than the case being dropped because of incompetent lawyers on the SEC side. I 100% agree with this. They said allegations of any of them being a scam, misappropriating funds, and failing to register as a security, but nothing about any scam, or he would have real criminal charges. So this is always something that you end up seeing as you end up reading through the good old Reddit thread as well. So always fun. It says, don't get the narrative twisted. Lawyers are always replaceable. I'm sure there's never-ending reviving door of lawyers in the SEC along with government officials. This isn't bullish for Pulse in the slightest. Just meant there's likely more corruption that no one can do shit about because it's the government. Isn't bullish in the slightest. Anyways, you gotta love the Reddit threads, man. You gotta love them. What else we got going on in the DeFi world, y'all? What else we got going on? We read this yesterday. Bitcoin meme coins push fees higher than block rewards for the first time. Let me close out some of these other cases over here. We got today on chain. Let me just refresh this because this is from 23 hours ago. There you go. Dogecoin sell off imminent. 10 billion Doge about to move into profit. Wow. Jane Street Capital now holds over 5% of Coinbase stock. Terra Labs and Doquan face 5.3 billion penalties in SEC fraud case. Jack Dorsey block completes Bitcoin mining chip. Announces development of full system. What else we got? Dude, anything crazy? Philippines SEC orders Binance's removal from Google and App Store. Wow. Philippines SEC orders. Do they have like the SEC in the Philippines? Philippines SEC orders. Interesting. Top 5 stablecoins near all-time high with $150 million market cap. Yeah, so a lot of people are going into stables because the market is full of uncertainty at this point in time. And with uncertainty means you may end up getting left behind. That is just part of the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. That is how it works a lot of the times as well. This was pretty interesting. What up? Appreciate that, Diamond Hand. This is actually pretty interesting. So the hackers leak El Salvador's Chivo Bitcoin wallet code, and I was trying to read through this before the stream just to kind of get like a little bit of a grip on it. I believe, yeah. So apparently there's this a group of individuals called the Cyber Intelligence El Salvador or SV, and let me just kind of scroll on back up here. So it says El Salvador state-controlled Bitcoin wallet is embroiled in a second data breach incident after hackers published another batch of sensitive information. On April 23rd, an anonymous bad actor called, or bad actors called Cyber Intelligentsia SV, leaked some of Chivo's source code and VPN credentials for state-operated Bitcoin ATMs. Pretty crazy stuff there. Now, again, this is actually, I can't even imagine having the balls to be able to do this nowadays, to be fair. Like, maybe I just don't have the mindset of what a hacker has the ability to do. But I just imagine that there's someone out there better as a hacker than what you can do. And so, like, you're putting yourself out there to do something crazy like this, and I don't know, is it worth it? Like, what's the purpose of it? And they do it all for free, as they say. So this time I bring you the code that is inside the Bitcoin Chivo wallet ATMs. in El Salvador. Remember that it is a government wallet, and as you know, we do not sell. We push everything for free for you. Like, damn. Digital security startup Veneri X warned citizens and the broader crypto community on Twitter of an impending Chivo leak a day before the incident. So not only do you actually say that you're going to do it, you have the gall to be like, guys, we're about to do it. So they literally had a picture, all of it right here. Tonight we'll publish the source code, part of the source code, should I say, and VPN access that belongs to Chivo Wallet for free as always. And they're trying to see, like, again, if the government wants to step in and pay them to shut the heck up, then they can. And the government didn't seem to do that, as apparently it has been leaked. The wallet became a national tool after President Nayib Bukele officially adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in September of 2021, becoming the first country to do so worldwide. Salvadorans can use Chivo to buy or sell Bitcoin, and Chivo also allows to withdraw crypto from BTC or ATMs across El Salvador. Shortly after its launch, users reported issues with the wallet, such as slow execution, app crashes, and other bugs. The government partnered with the U.S. white labeled software Alpha Point to address technical glitches. Matters escalated earlier this month after the personal information of some 5 million Salvadorans were exposed online. Damn. Damn. It's a lot of information, especially if you have to do everything via the blockchain and you actually have to go essentially get yourself a digital ID just to be able to live in that ecosystem. It's not the world that we necessarily want to live in. That sounds like some pretty crazy stuff happening. Initially, the source was unclear and mistaken for a vaccination database since its features details like full names, dates of birth, individual profile photos, and addresses. However, experts later linked the files to Chivo's sign up requirements. Damn. They haven't even commented or issued a statement. Damn. You got Ripple trying to ask the court to reject the SEC's $2 billion claim. This is another little thing happening with the Ripple SEC, freaking strong arm of the SEC overreaching. And we know that XRP and Ripple have been dealing with this for a long time, a very, very long time, as a matter of fact. And yeah, I mean, some of the things they've won, some of the things they haven't won. In July of 2023, the company won a partial victory in the SEC lawsuit. The court found that XRP retail sales do not violate securities laws. However, the trial is still ongoing, with the next meeting slated to be on the XRP's institutional sales, which I don't believe that they are either going to lose that battle either, which is wild to say. So if they're winning those battles, I can't even imagine how much we're going to be winning our battles when the time comes, boys and gals. It's just a matter of time. We saw this updated amid Grayscale applications updated amid SEC delays. Okay, so they just updated about 5 minutes ago. It looks like SEC seeking 5.3 million. We saw that nearing all-time highs. We saw that crypto donations in the U.S. hit $2 billion after top charities accept digital contributions. Damn, damn, that's pretty crazy. No, thank you. Wow, 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 wow. So we got a lot going on in crypto, while at the same time we don't really have a lot going on in crypto. There's always something. There's always some news, and at the end of the day, folks, I wouldn't lose your head over anything at this point in time. There's still plenty of markup to be made, plenty of money to be made, and if we end up doing the crazy numbers like we expect, it's just a matter of time before it gets there. And what I'm referring to is talking about like the overall crypto market cap right now. So if you actually look at the total crypto market cap, we are still sitting at $2.4 trillion or $2.378 trillion. And we pulled this up before to show you how crazy the numbers might actually end up getting this cycle. But imagine that we end up getting upwards into the 10 to 20 trillion dollar market cap over here. This is where I can actually see things get pretty damn interesting. So just a matter of how high does it really want to go? And you're talking trillions, guys. When you trillion, like, it's easy to say the number trillion. It's hard to imagine how much actual money that is. Very hard to imagine, which is why Bitcoin still sitting at its $1.3 trillion market cap is impressive, or 1.2 or whatever it's at right now for today. Let me just pull a quick little coin gecko overall to see. So it's sitting at $1.3 trillion. That is impressive. This is competing with many of the top dogs at that point in time. And it's well within the top 20 of overall big crypto market cap, which is pretty wild, y'all. It's just a matter of time before it's number two, and then just a matter of time before it's number one. And that also would mean Ethereum would be right behind it. So it's sitting at $400 billion right now. Mind you, on Hex's all-time high, it actually hit $500 billion on its market cap as well. So keep that in mind, folks. Plenty of room to be made. Jamal, what did you ask real quick, just to go over it real quick? This has WEF written all over it. Monetary shutdown due to a cyber attack. Come on. Yeah, 1000%. Has WEF all over it. You can just smell it. Yeah, that stinks of WEF, my boy. You just stinks of it right there. No joke at all. I don't know why the lag is happening right now. But anyways, guys, y'all already know what tomorrow is. It will be Wednesday, my dude. So as always, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon. Continue to buy if you have some spare money available. Continue to hold if you just want to believe in the product. Or again, sit on the sideline and do nothing and just enjoy eating your popcorn while the overall market takes off this cycle. Other than that, boys and gals, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb.